Donald Trump is a name that sparks strong reactions no matter who you ask. Whether you're talking about his business empire, his time as president, or even his personal life, it's safe to say that Trump has always been surrounded by controversy. But love him or hate him, one thing is clear: his scandals have made headlines like no other. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 Trump scandals that left the world talking. From courtroom dramas to political firestorms, we'll explore the moments that truly defined his public image. And trust me, you won't want to miss the #1 scandal that sent shockwaves through politics. Let's dive in. One of the most talked about scandals during Trump's time in office was the Russia investigation. Special counsel Robert Mueller was appointed to look into allegations that Russia interfered in the 2016 presidential election and whether Trump's campaign had ties to Russian officials. The whole thing sparked endless debates, making headlines around the world. The investigation started after concerns were raised about Russian attempts to sway the election in Trump's favor. From the infamous Trump Tower meeting, where key members of Trump's campaign met with a Russian lawyer, to alleged hacking of Democratic emails, every detail added fuel to the fire. But it didn't stop there. Mueller's team spent nearly 2 years digging into these connections, and the final report raised serious questions. While Mueller found evidence of Russian interference, he couldn't definitively prove that Trump's campaign directly colluded with Russia. However, the report did highlight numerous instances where Trump might have obstructed justice, whether by trying to influence the investigation or firing FBI Director James Comey. Despite this, Trump often dismissed the investigation as a witch hunt, and no criminal charges were brought directly against him. Still, the cloud of suspicion hung over his presidency for years, shaping public opinion and fueling political battles on both sides of the aisle. For many, it's a scandal that showed the deep divides in American politics during the Trump era. The Ukraine scandal became a major turning point in Trump's presidency, leading to his first impeachment. In July 2019, Trump had a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, where it was alleged that Trump pressured Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, and Biden's son, Hunter. Critics claimed Trump withheld $400 million in military aid to Ukraine as leverage, leading to accusations of abuse of power. In December 2019, Trump was impeached by the House of Representatives for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. However, the Senate acquitted him in February 2020, allowing him to remain in office. This scandal heightened political divisions, with Trump's supporters dismissing it as a partisan attack and his critics viewing it as a clear misuse of presidential power. Next up, we have a scandal that brought Trump's personal life into the spotlight: the Stormy Daniels affair. This was a story of alleged infidelity, hush money, and legal drama that captivated the media for months. The scandal began with claims that Trump had an affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels back in 2006. While Trump has always denied the affair, the real controversy erupted when it was revealed that Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid Daniels $130,000 in hush money just before the 2016 election. The payment was meant to keep her quiet about the alleged affair. Michael Cohen later admitted to making the payment at Trump's direction, raising questions about whether it violated campaign finance laws. Trump, however, denied knowing about the payment at the time, although his story seemed to shift over time. Reaction to the scandal was mixed. While some saw it as just another example of Trump's complicated personal life, others viewed it as part of a broader pattern of deceit and manipulation. Legally, it didn't lead to significant consequences for Trump, but Cohen ended up serving prison time for campaign finance violations, among other charges. The Stormy Daniels scandal was more than just tabloid fodder. It painted a picture of how far Trump and his team were willing to go to protect his image, especially in the heat of a presidential campaign. For many, it was another layer added to Trump's already controversial public persona. Before politics, Trump was known for his business ventures, but Trump University became a major scandal that followed him into the White House. Launched in 2005, Trump University promised students insider real estate knowledge and personal involvement from Trump. However, by 2010, former students filed lawsuits claiming they had been misled and defrauded, accusing the university of false advertising. In 2016, Trump agreed to a $25 million settlement without admitting wrongdoing, though he defended the university, calling the lawsuits politically motivated. The case highlighted concerns about Trump's business practices, with critics questioning his ethics, while supporters saw him as a successful entrepreneur. One of the most shocking moments during Trump's presidency was the January 6, 2021, Capitol riot, leading to his second impeachment. On that day, Trump supporters stormed the Capitol, attempting to stop the certification of the 2020 election results. Trump had claimed the election was stolen and encouraged his followers to protest, which many saw as incitement. In response, Trump was impeached for a second time on charges of inciting insurrection. However, the Senate acquitted him once again. The Capitol riot became a defining moment of Trump's legacy, with long-lasting debates over his role in the event and its impact on American democracy. One of the most significant and defining moments of Trump's presidency was his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. With the world facing an unprecedented health crisis, Trump's decisions and approach sparked controversy and criticism from all sides. In the early months of the pandemic, Trump was accused of downplaying the seriousness of the virus, often comparing it to the flu and predicting it would disappear on its own. His administration's response was seen as slow, especially in the critical early stages when quick action could have curbed the spread. One of the more controversial moments came when Trump promoted the use of hydroxychloroquine, a drug that had not been proven to effectively treat COVID-19. As the virus spread across the U.S., Trump's stance on health guidelines like mask wearing and lockdowns drew significant backlash. While health experts pushed for stricter measures, Trump often voiced opposition to long-term lockdowns, arguing they would devastate the economy. The impact was severe. By the end of his term, the pandemic had taken a toll on public health and the economy, with the U.S. experiencing high infection rates and deaths. Trump's handling of the crisis became a major talking point during the 2020 election, with many viewing it as one of the key factors that defined his final year in office. For his critics, it showed a lack of leadership in a time of crisis. For his supporters, his focus on reopening the economy was seen as a necessary step to protect livelihoods. One of Trump's most prominent campaign promises was building a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border, but turning that promise into reality sparked a major political battle. Securing funds for the wall became a challenge, as Congress, particularly Democrats, resisted providing the billions Trump requested. In 2019, after a budget standoff, Trump declared a national emergency to redirect military funds for the wall's construction without congressional approval. Reactions were divided. Supporters saw the wall as a symbol of strong immigration control, while critics called it a costly overreach of executive power. The legal and political battle over the wall continued throughout Trump's presidency, becoming a defining part of his immigration policy. For years, Donald Trump broke with presidential tradition by refusing to release his tax returns, a decision that fueled speculation and led to one of the biggest financial investigations of his career. Unlike his predecessors, Trump repeatedly refused to make his tax returns public, claiming they were under audit. This refusal sparked widespread curiosity and raised questions about his wealth, business dealings, and how much he paid or didn't pay in federal income taxes. In 2020, leaked documents revealed that Trump paid very little in federal income tax for several years, including just $750 in 2016 and 2017. The revelations also suggested that Trump had used various loopholes and deductions to reduce his tax liability. While some saw this as savvy business strategy, others viewed it as an unfair manipulation of the tax system. Beyond the tax returns, Trump faced multiple investigations into his finances. The New York Attorney General and Manhattan District Attorney both launched probes into whether Trump had inflated the value of his properties to secure loans and deflated them to reduce his tax bills. The scandal wasn't just about money, it raised deeper questions. These financial investigations cast doubt on Trump's claims about his wealth and business acumen, becoming a major topic of discussion during his presidency and after. For some, it was further evidence of Trump's questionable ethics in both his business and political life. One of the most heart-wrenching scandals during Trump's presidency was the family separation policy at the U.S.-Mexico border. This controversial move shocked the world and became a focal point in the immigration debate. In 2018, the Trump administration introduced a zero-tolerance policy that aimed to prosecute everyone crossing the border illegally. As part of this policy, thousands of children were separated from their parents at the border and placed in detention centers, while their parents faced criminal charges. The images of children in cages and the sound of crying kids being separated from their families sparked widespread outrage, both in the United States and abroad. The reaction was swift and fierce. Human rights organizations, activists, and politicians condemned the policy, calling it inhumane and a violation of basic human rights. The legal challenges soon followed, and after intense public pressure, Trump signed an executive order to end the separations. However, many families were left divided for months, and the damage was already done. This scandal left a lasting mark on the immigration debate in the U.S., highlighting deep divisions over how the country should handle those crossing the border illegally. It also raised humanitarian concerns about how far a government should go in enforcing immigration laws. One of the most divisive moments of Trump's presidency came after the 2017 violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, when his response sparked a national debate on race relations. The violence erupted when white supremacists and neo-Nazis gathered to protest the removal of a Confederate statue. Counter-protests turned deadly when a white supremacist drove into the crowd, killing one person. Trump's response, saying there were very fine people on both sides, was widely criticized for failing to fully condemn the hate groups involved. The backlash was swift. Trump's comments ignited a national conversation about race and leadership. His critics viewed it as a failure to show moral clarity, while his supporters saw it as an attempt to avoid deepening divisions. The Charlottesville incident left a lasting mark on his presidency, becoming a symbol of the larger debate over race and extremism in America. Donald Trump's time in office, and even before his presidency, has been marked by an unparalleled string of scandals. Whether you see them as political witch hunts or legitimate concerns, these controversies have undeniably shaped the public's view of Trump, for better or for worse. From the Russia investigation to his comments on race, Trump's legacy is filled with moments that sparked intense debates. Which scandal do you think had the biggest impact? Let us know in the comments below.